Hello and welcome to the stream. Tonight it is Real Sociedad versus Manchester United and they play in Turin. Man United won the coin toss, so they're kicking off from left to right. So it should be an interesting game tonight. I've got a few things that I want to say just before I start. Make sure the stream's working, and obviously it's going to say it's not. Yes, it's working now. It wasn't working for a second. So, tonight we've got Real Sociedad and Manchester United. So my thoughts on the Manchester United was it's going to be a tough game. And the reason I thought that was because they've got a few injuries. Pogba's not playing, he's out until the end of March. And they've got a few other players that aren't quite fit. So they've brought in Shortire, who just scored last week and then signed a professional contract, age 17, and we've got the opportunity to see Diallo. He could make his debut. He's on the bench tonight. I watched him under the 23s. He's quite a good talent actually. So tonight Solskjaer has went for Bailly at the back instead of Lindelof and Telles. He has went for this McTominay-Fred partnership again. Now, in recent weeks, what I've noticed is you'll have McTominay and Fred. They're sitting on the midfield, and then you've got the people in front. So last week it was Rashford, Martial, Cavani, and you've got that big space between. And there's Bailly just made the mistake. It's Real Sociedad, Januzaj just missed! That would have been some goal by Januzaj. That was his first shot against his old club. Bad mistake there by Bailly. He's not played in the past few games. That certainly won't be good. If you can just let me know if there's sound, please. So make sure that there's sound on. So yeah, so go back to this. So there's Rashford, first touch, shoot! Oh, what a save! End to end. Januzaj one end, went wide, and then Rashford, the keeper got to it. And he's Bruno Fernandes. Unlucky he doesn't get to Rashford. I think that Rashford would have benefited from being rested in this game, but with the team not being as strong. And there's through the middle! Real Sociedad! Between Maguire and Bailly there, that's the second mistake. And that was a great ball there by Januzaj. Straight through to Isak. He is a phenomenal talent. Alexandre Isak. This game is end to end thus far. Be interesting to see who comes out. So I was thinking, and I'm hoping that Man United win, but I was thinking that Real Sociedad might just scrape this, and then I saw that Solskjaer had put Shortire and Diallo on the bench, so I'm hoping, but he's went with Daniel. In fact, has he went with Daniel James? But I seen it said that they had. But here's Greenwood. So Real Sociedad are quite open at the back at the moment. They're full out on the attack. And again my tags are not working. It's the second time that's happened. Second time. Now I need to fix this again, but with 2 seconds and it'll be fixed. Second time that this has happened in 2 days, by the way. Yes, that'll do me now. I can change anything at half time if I have to. So yeah, so go back. Here's Januzaj again on attack. There's Isak. He's going for the middle, and that was well defended there by Wan-Bissaka. So yeah, so we'll go back to Januzaj. After he left Manchester United, he didn't really have the best of careers after. But after joining Real Sociedad, he's really cemented his place, and his contract's up next year. I believe that his buyout clause or buyback clause for Man United is still on the table, and we see two other Premier League legends here. We see Monreal, who's taking the throne just now, and of course David Silva. David Silva's just back from injury. Because he's not a player that requires much speed, he plays at a slower tempo, so his aging legs won't affect him as much as it did, as we've seen last night with Chiellini for Juventus. But it looks like Real Sociedad are pushing forward. Yeah, James is playing, so it's James is playing and Greenwood's playing as well. Manchester United have Martial on the bench, so they still have choices. Cavani's not on the bench, he didn't make it, and added Pogba, as I said earlier. And it's quite good to see that Dean Henderson's getting a game. I read that they are going to be losing 3 goalkeepers at the end of the season. Remiro, Grant, and an under 23 goalkeeper as well. And if I believe they've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench, Grant and De Gea. So it just shows that they don't really have many players to fill the spaces. They've also brought up the 2 youngsters, and I think the 2 youngsters will have an impact, and they'll have a similar impact to what we've seen with Rashford and Greenwood a couple of seasons ago. May not score as many goals, but we'll certainly see a lot of potential, and that's what we're hoping to see. So here's Isak on the ball. Great defending there by Wan-Bissaka. Monreal tries to play the ball, and his teammate can't quite keep it in. So we're 6 minutes in here, and we've seen both teams both having shots and both being saved by the goalkeeper. I'll turn this down actually that's fine. Before it comes on, I'll go down for copyright. But we see McTominay, we see Rashford, and he's wide open, and he's got the ball, he's making a run. Fernandes, pass to Telles, and he's just scuffed the pass. You can actually see he's got a divot in the grass here. When I watched Rashford play the other day, he didn't play too well. So I'm just hoping in this game he can certainly show some of his old form at the start of the season. But again, they're playing that many games. I've heard some people say that they would rather not have Europa League this season, even just to get knocked out here, and then concentrate on the Premier League top 4. What's your thoughts on that? And that cross comes to nothing from Monreal. So we see Bruno Fernandes here, he's chasing down the goalkeeper for Real Sociedad. I think that's one reason why James is getting his game, is because he's just like a headless chicken, he just runs and runs and runs. And if they want to play the high press, he'll be a good player to have on the park. Get him playing 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and then bring on Diallo, and he can play the final 25 to 30 minutes. So we'll see. David Silva's came quite deep to get the ball in defence. Just passing and moving, passing and moving. There's Man United got the ball back. I was just going to say that you see Rashford just staying quite high, playing on the last defender's shoulder. Sociedad obviously wants to get this tie over and done with. And to in. Here's Fernandes! And he tried to control it, and the defender has put it out for a throw in. I'm going to go for a Man United victory tonight. I'm not going to go for many goals though. I think it'll be quite a close game. There's James telling Wan-Bissaka put the ball forward. He puts it all the way back to Baye. Here's Rashford, and he just couldn't keep it in. He'll be wanting a good game tonight. And I think if he's already offside anyway, he's coming back on it. But I think if he doesn't have a good game, I think Martial will come on and he'll try and play really good in the final 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I think they play Newcastle next. I think they play Saturday evening. So they've got some time to rest, but they'll be wanting to come in here, get a few goals in, and then come off and get some rest on the bench. I don't think Bruno Fernandes will agree with that, but that's what's best for him. If Man United are ahead, then it's better resting your top players and keeping them out there and risking injuries and all that sort of stuff. Telly's got the ball, lost it. Isak almost got the ball through to David Silva there. Very much doubt they're going to win the Europa. And then at what expense are they losing? Because they could, look at last season. Yeah, it was last season they had to play the Europa quite late on, so they finished late in the season. And then at the start of the season, you've seen them struggle because of the late games finishing. So they've only had like 3 weeks between finishing in Europe and then starting the Premiership again. I would be happy if they won the Europa League, because it's not an easy thing to win by any means. I think any team in Europe should be happy and proud if they win this competition. There's Dan James trying to do a fancy ball and he loses possession. Man United are doing quite well defensively. They're keeping the line. Fred, McTominay both are watching the men. As I say that, Man United get it back. There's Dan James. Rashford, head up, pass. Use Greenwood, pass. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, good save there. Good header there by Monreal. I just feel that Rashford there should have got the ball forward a bit quicker. Just ran with the ball rather than try and pass it and make the play that bit quicker. There's a lot of players piling into the box here. 13 minutes gone. And there's Tottenham game. They seem to be quite the team in Europe lately. In the Premier League they seem to be struggling, but in Europe they're doing okay. And there's Mata. So what Sociedad was saying about him, about Mata, that he's came back from personal issues, and he said that if he had the option of playing Mata last week, that he would have put him on, because he is the type of player that can just open the door, that can just turn the key. But he had personal issues, so he's just came back into the squad this week. The cross by Januzaj, great cross! Four Man United players that didn't know what to do when the ball dropped to them. And in the end, it was Maguire that kicked it clear. That was a shaky moment there. And we've seen last week that Greenwood also signed a new contract, so he's going to be staying at Manchester United for the foreseeable future, and he's part of the Man United rebuild. Great ball there to, well, I was going to say there's a pass there to Wan-Bissaka, but that was too much power from McTominay. A little bit too enthusiastic there. Yeah, so they're definitely a team that's on the up, and they've got a lot of good players coming in. They've got players in there that haven't reached their prime yet that will do that at some point. So the future is looking pretty good. McTominay! Shit! Oh, what a save! He's went down, he's played for the penalty, but nothing given as yet. And Bruno Fernandes, I think, wins the corner. That's going to be a goal kick. Hit off him last, apparently. He doesn't agree with that. It did hit off the Real Sociedad player last. Here's the penalty called by McTominay. I don't think it is. He was taking the shot. He was already. He'd already released the ball there. The way that McTominay's playing the past few weeks, and for Scotland, you would have thought he would have scored that, but it was good. It was good goalkeeping. So who do we all think is going to win? Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. Here we are. Rashford's chasing the ball down. He isn't going to get to that. Put on this now. Checking our score, and there's the ball released there, and it should be well. It was well taken there by Dean Henderson. So Dean Henderson is 24, I believe, and De Gea's 30. Be interesting to see how Man United are able to keep both these goalkeepers happy, because I don't think either one of them wants to be a cup goalkeeper. And I wouldn't stand in De Gea's way if he wants to go back to Spain. He's been real good at Man United. First season he wasn't that great, but it was a new country, new surroundings. Here's Tellez. So far he's not done that well. But he's put a ball through to Bruno Fernandes! There's Rashford! Rashford! Oh, good save there! Oh, Bruno Fernandes tries to head it and it's off the line. Great goalkeeping there by Real Sociedad. Comes out and it's Bruno Fernandes again. Talking about good goalkeeping there about David De Gea, that was fantastic goalkeeping by Real Sociedad. I do think that Rashford thought he had scored that before he actually struck the ball. There wasn't much conviction in that shot. "18 minutes gone. Man United definitely can see a way through. They're building confidence. They're getting behind the Real Sociedad defence time after time. Bit like Cindy Lauper. Starting to show my age there. Just watching the replay again. I don't think Rashford done too much wrong there, but he did put it a bit central rather than picking a corner. That's where the likes of Cavani would have probably have scored, and that's obviously with Cavani around the team, and I think he's staying next season. That can only benefit the likes of Rashford, Greenwood, and of course Martial. I always say that I think Martial is more of a winger than a centre forward, but if times are tough, you'll play anybody up front that you can. Wan-Bissaka, here's Baye. I've been quite impressed with Januzaj. He was saying in an interview that when he got released by Van Gaal, he was quite upset. But he says that he partly blamed the coaches. He said that the coaches didn't really give him much of a push. That was an actual quote of what he said. And then I watched an interview earlier with Ray Parlour, and he was saying about how when he first went to Arsenal, and then it was Arsene Wenger era, and then it was, well, when that was filmed, it was Emery era, and he said how Arsene Wenger had changed football with the nutrition, but he was saying that some players need that hug to make them play better, and some players do well with criticism. But he says that the modern footballers, as has been discussed previously in these watch-alongs, just need a little bit too much mollycoddling at times. And at the end of the day, I was watching this program last night, and it was about a boxer, and he said that he used to do team sports. It is relevant. He used to do team sports, and he says if you play in a team, then you are relying on the coach. The coach has to pick you to play in that team, and you're not always going to get picked. Again, go back to the Ray Parlour interview. He was saying that he got injured and he went to Glenn Hoddle, and Glenn Hoddle says, "Go and see my faith healer," and he says, "Back inside, Eileen." And because he had that comment, which is harmless, Glenn Hoddle wouldn't play him again in his England team. So there is a bit of that. And here's Tellez. There. So yeah, modern footballers are just a little bit too mollycoddled at times. But yeah, go back to the boxing thing. The boxer said if you play in a team, then you are a team player. The coach has to pick you. But if you're a boxer, you make your own path. And I can understand because football is a team game. But I think Januzaj or any footballer has to. Here's Dan James. He's going to get to it. He's got to it. He's putting the ball in. Fernandes. He's saying to McTominay to make a run. McTominay was a bit too close to him, to be fair. He's putting the ball in. It almost dropped to Rashford. But yeah, the boxer was saying if you do your own sport, then you can force your own career. And Januzaj, from the sounds of it, just spat out his dummy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm not getting much love here. Here's Isak. He's running, and Baye was matching him pace for pace, but he still needed Maguire to come back to help him get the ball off Isak. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is the excuse by Januzaj for me doesn't fit. If you're a footballer, you've got to be committed. You've got to be at training every day, and you've got to be dedicated. As Ray Parlour was saying, if you're a footballer now and you've got, say you're 17, 18 and you make it, if you want to go out drinking and stuff, that's fine, but you're not going to still be there. Januzaj trying to get through, puts the ball through, tells his little legs and then puts it out for the corner. He was saying that a modern footballer can't go out as much as what they did. When they went out, they still got a game, but they weren't as good. but because they weren't at that time, they weren't talking about nutrition and looking after your body. And he says, but your career would end time you were 30. He says, but now modern footballers really have to just dedicate themselves. Because we've seen that with the Premier League. Premier League came in 1992, and we're now 2021, and the Premier League season after season just got quicker and quicker and quicker and more physical. And here's Januzaj put the ball into Monreal, and Dan James has got it. He's looking for the 1-2, but Bruno Fernandes put it forward. Here's Rashford. Here comes keeper, and the keeper gets to it before Rashford. Rashford doesn't look happy, but there's not a lot more that Fernandes could have done. Don't know why that's not showing me chat. It should be showing me chat. Never a draw. Januzaj. He'll be looking to impress Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Even he's not going to get back to Manchester United, but he's got a point to prove, and we'll see if he can do that. "25 minutes in, and so far I've not been that impressed with Baye. I thought he'd have been the better option compared to Lindelof. Here's shit! Is that offside or is it a goal? Bruno Fernandes? Is that going to count? He's looking at it. I think it is though. I'm sure that's 1-0 Manchester United. I'm just not getting too excited in case it's no. He's onside. Definitely onside. There's a mix-up there by the goalkeeper and the defender. Man United get the all-important away goal, even although they're playing at a neutral ground at Turin. I'm pretty sure that they're playing there due to Spain restrictions. So that's not got the away goal. So, come on! As I say, time and time, Man United have got behind this Real Sociedad back four. 3 times then the goalkeepers really helped out Real Sociedad with 3 good saves. But that time there was a mix-up and he couldn't do too much about it. I'm just going to change it. I was waiting to make sure it wasn't offside. And then I was going to change it because it's on the first time I've changed it and it's came back as an offside goal. Right, that's the wrong thing. There you go. I found it. Here we are. We see Baye again. Don't know why it's not connected. My chat. I thought that's I pressed refresh on it earlier and it didn't refresh, and then now it's working. I really need to get a table just here so I can do both. There's a crosshair by Real Sociedad, but it went too far. But it's went to the other side. Here's Teles, Januzaj, Silva. And he's playing it all the way back to the defenders, giving some relief there to the Manchester United defenders, who, when looking at them, they're real square, which is good. And there's Tottenham. Oh! Check who scored for Tottenham. Wow. Something must be happening. Honestly, Tottenham play better in Europe than they do in the league. But after their defeat at, I can't remember who they played last week, But anyway, after their defeat, they were quite happy to be getting this results thus far in the Europa League, and they'll be happy that Bale scored. Here's McTominay. Right, Rashford, make a run. Don't know why he done that. He was just waiting, and waiting rather than making his run. Oh well, what can you do, eh? What can you do? There's going to be a free kick, and Bruno Fernandes and Telling's over it. And that was quite a poor ball. And Man United have the corner. This is their third corner of the night, I believe. Here we are, we see Telly's here about to take it. There's McTominay's been spoken to, and Normand. And David Silva's trying to pick up the loose ball. Quite impressed with David Silva, but again, because his gameplay isn't rush, and it's just slow tempo, he'll certainly get a couple of more seasons at a top level. Something definitely wrong with my stream. It just seems to be not giving me numbers at all. The chat isn't working great. Nothing's working great in this, by the way. And it's not a technical issue this time. It is genuinely YouTube this time. Right, that's the dog outside barking. Obviously he's saying, come on Man United. Here we see Monreal trying to get the ball forward, and he's winning the throw in. So it's 32 minutes gone. It's been quite a quick half thus far. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking a little bit stressed, but you can be quite happy with his team's performance. Say that, here's Isak. Let's put the ball through. Beats one, beats two. It's back through. And that was a terrible corner. Januzaj had everybody to pass to within 10 yards, and he just puts his foot right through it for a cross, when it was easier just to put a small touch because Isak was there 8 yards out. So like, share, subscribe, comment. So we're 34 minutes gone just now. Every night or every time I do this, my tags always go missing since I'm using this new software. It worked better with VMix. But here we go. Januzaj almost gets on the end of that. I'm quite looking forward to see where Januzaj goes next year, if he re-signs a contract or if he does go to a different club. since Man United scored, they're sitting back a little bit. They're not playing the high press. They're just letting Real Sociedad come onto them. But there was some space there for Januzaj. And as I say that, Man United have 45% possession. Just sitting back. And there's Tottenham again. Man United here will be looking for the counter attack. Don't want to push bodies forward. They'll be looking to defend this lead. Although it is in their best interest to try and get a second or third goal. And here's Maguire with the free kick from his own half. Quite a lot of players in central midfield not being marked. The passes to McTominay. Rashford's just standing there, not making a run. Interesting. Must have been told to just hold that position. He's not really moving forward too much. Interesting. Usually you would see him moving forward just to create space. He is here. There's Greenwood. Greenwood was in the box here unmarked, but he got the ball taken off him. It's been a good game thus far. Whether you're a Man United fan or a neutral, it's been quite a good game. Not as good as the Barcelona game, mind you, but still good nonetheless. Some good football. Real Sociedad put himself into trouble there. Played it back to the goalkeeper, and Bruno Fernandes and that Rashford were chasing the goalkeeper down. What's your thoughts on playing the ball back to the goalkeeper all the time? It seems to be something that we've seen now in modern football. And there's Rashford offside. Just get back on side, mate. Just jog a bit. Doesn't even tell me anything on this about views or anything. It should still be streaming. Is it still streaming okay? That was a good defensive block there by Greenwood. Isak there came in, tried to play the ball through, and almost got through there. Januzaj was just there to tee it up, and he was there for the tap in. And Januzaj with free kick. And save! Oh, that was good. Good. That was really bizarre, but Fred tries to get the ball and completely misses it. I mean, you've got somebody like Isak behind you, you really need to get the ball. Here's Real Sociedad in the penalty box. Beats one, beats two, but Bailly is able to clear it. That would be, yeah, it's a free kick. I was going to say, I think that was in the hands, it was in the hands of Dean Henderson when he dropped the ball, and Bailly just kicked it off the line. Wouldn't have counted anyway, but still, it's good to see defenders getting in last ditch. Real Sociedad have had quite a lot of success coming down the left of Man United. They've beat two players on average. Here's Rashford running, pass! What the fuck are you doing? He had so many players up with him that were in better positions, but he tries to beat two players. Fucking hell. I really don't know why they do that. There's Monreal, he's on the edge of the 18-yard box. If somebody sees him, he can ping the ball across. Again, they're beat so easy down the left. So easy. If this keeps going the way it's going, look Shaw will come on. So much success next with Tellez. He's just been out of position or he's getting beat too easy. There we are, there's Monreal. Man United going forward are quite strong when they're in the final third, but in the midfield they're a little bit shaky, and down their left they're very shaky. Not sure how this is going to go. They've got the lead thus far, but that can only take you so far. They're only one goal ahead. One goal can easily be overturned. David Silva. Here's Monreal. McTominay. They just seem to be passing it about quite a lot in midfield. There's Bruno Fernandes, put a long ball forward for Rashford. Is he going to get to it? He does. And it's a corner. Corner to Man United. I can see Rashford coming off maybe 65 minutes and then Martial coming on. There's McTominay down there. Down with a slight knock. So Rashford, do you think it's tactical why he's not always making a run? Or do you think it's just Rashford? Because you see here he makes a run, he beats one, beats two, tries to beat a third man and gets the ball taken off him. When there was a clear pass to at least two players. If he's taken on three players, he's already pulled three players away. He's across here, and Maguire almost gets there. I can see why they're thinking we've had a lot of shots, so we're going to get a lot more shots and a lot more success, but that isn't how football works. You need to play it, and you need to play wisely. This Man United squad, just not really. Again, it comes back to what I was saying earlier, the front players and McTominay and Fred have got a bit of a gap, and it's allowing Real Sociedad midfield to take some of the possession there. And then from there, there's just build on that and then going down Man United's left. There's Monreal open. Is he going to be spotted? No, he's not. Dan James got in there quick. And there's Greenwood. He's off! He's going to get to this. Right? He's got Rashford up and he's got Fernandes here. He's got to put it in Fernandes. He's looking for 1-2. McTominay. And it was a bad pass. I can see what he was trying to do there, and he's been stood on. I can see what he was trying to do. I just think that the easier pass was to play it along the ground, McTominay. Keep it simple just now. And there we go. Monreal loses possession, and he's gave away a free kick because he brought down James. I'm really looking forward to seeing Diallo second half. He's going to be so creative. But then who do they take off? Do they take off Dan James? That's the most likely candidate. But I'm also a little bit. I just think Rashford needs to come off soon. Get. And it's not a popular opinion. I certainly know that. But he's just not doing it just now. Watch this, he'll score. There's a free kick, poor by Fernandes here, but he's got it back. Still got it. Here's James, Rashford. Fernandes. And he's got Rashford for support, and he's also lost it. And it's going to be they're going to be offset. That's half time. So that's half time. So we saw Silva, and I was actually quite impressed with Silva. What do Real Sociedad need to do in the second half? They seem to be losing possession with just their short passing. Need to be a little bit more crisp, a little bit more precise. Because when they do get into the final third, they are being swamped by Man United players. Man United just aren't getting the ball forward quick enough, and then when they get forward, they're just not moving the ball well enough. There's a game tomorrow, Wolves Leeds in the Premier League. Yeah, I just think they'll bring on a player. They might bring on Fred. Done that last week. Brought on Fred just so that there's a bit more of a flow going through the midfield. And I was going to say actually that just reminded me. It was quite sad that Beak got injured because he would have been in this game, and this would have been the game where he could have proven some doubters wrong. And that would have given him maybe 1 or 2 games, perhaps even 3 or 4 games in a row, because you do need 5 games in a row to bring off Tellys for Williams. I don't think they'll bring on Williams. But yeah, go back to Beak. You don't want to see any player injured, but when he saw that Pogba was injured, he must have thought, here's my chance. And he then goes and gets injured. I'm not sure how long he's injured for. I think he's back before Pogba, so we'll definitely see some games from Beak. But he's just been so unfortunate since joining from Ajax. The thing with Williams is he came in at a time where Man United was struggling and Shaw was always getting injured. He got injured again and again and again, and Man United had to look at what do we have, who do we have, do we have a replacement in the academy, and they did. So they brought up Brandon Williams. I've always said about Brandon, he's a good defender, obviously on the left, but what he is, he's quite aggressive. Now, Graham there quite likes the aggressive side of Brandon Williams, but I've always said that he just keeps giving away silly fibbles, yellow cards, and a loan spell would have done him really good this season, but it didn't materialise. Now that Tellez has joined, he's definitely number 3 in the pecking order. Would I want to play Brandon Williams tonight? You could argue if you play Williams tonight, then you can play Luke Shaw on Saturday. That would be the argument, because you're giving Brandon Williams some game time. If you were to bring on Shaw and he does get injured, then that's you without a first choice left back for Saturday. So there's arguments for and against. Personally, I would wait until we get on Diallo and then from there see what to do with Tellez. If he keeps making mistakes, then take him off and bring on Williams or Shaw. Either one would do. Just try to think, because you've got Williams, and you don't want to say it or think that way, but he is disposable at this point. If he was to be in this game and get injured, then it's not a big loss. If you play Luke Shaw and he gets injured, then he is a big loss come Saturday and the next few games. So that's something I would be thinking about if I was Ollie, but that's where I think when I'm making subs in FM and stuff. So I don't know. I'm sad. Right, maybe 2 seconds because I'm coming to a cold. I don't know if you can hear. I'll go straight back. And I'm back. How's the sound? Is there any echo? Or anything like that? Check this green screen's on the way. Be caught, because I think I've caught it. I have caught it. It's alright. I saved it. I saved the day. Saved the day. Who's it that said that? I saved the day. One of those films. Is there an echo on the mic? So I'm trying to find out, try to figure it out. Because if it's not this technical, it's this technical. There's always something, honestly. Every time because I need to set this up every time from scratch, there's always something that doesn't work properly. It's not ideal. Wait till I can get a studio. Get a big studio. Got a garage somewhere. So what's the thoughts in the chat? Are we going to see Diallo on in the second half? Let's think about this. Let's think about this. Just about finished. Ooh. Is that any better, or is it still an echo? Because where the mic sits, I've moved stuff, so I'm thinking it's bouncing off the back of that. How bad is the echo? Is it quite annoying? I should really start speaking through my webcam. Probably work a lot better. I do have a fluffy thing. Could put that on. Aye, but is it still the same though? Is it still as echoey as it was before? How about if I do this? See, my mic. Is this better? If I sit here like Elvis Presley. In fact, do you know what it might be? That's changed a bit. It's accidentally been touched. The settings on the mic. That might be why it's a bit more sensitive. I'll try again. So, 1, 2, 3, duck, duck, quack, quack. And in case you're wondering, they say a duck's quack does not echo. Any better? Is it worse now that I'm saying duck, duck, quack, quack? No. What about if I hold it up here? Any better? It'd be like Elvis. Never realised that that's got a detachable leg that can make it high and low. You can hardly hear now. It's right in front of me. Right. Do you know what I might have done? Because I'm a wee bit silly, which if you've been watching my streams, you'll know. I may have not put the right mic on, which sounds like me. How's that? Is that any better? I can even feel it vibrating when I'm talking. Sound any better? Tell you, Graham, see when you're back, because you're a hardware guy, you can certainly be doing all this. I'll be quite happy for that to be the case. It means that I can just try and not do anything. I'll put it back to where it was. Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Duck, duck, quack, quack. Hannibal. It's another point as well. Hannibal didn't get called up to this squad. That's quite disappointing. But anyway, is the sound better? Message retracted. What did you say? So was it better before then? Oh my Jesus, absolute Jesus. Right. Do you know what? I'll just keep talking and tell me If it's worse or better. Worse or better. Duck, duck, quack, quack. Bruno Fernandes. Wolfsberger 0, Tottenham 3. How's that? I don't understand how you can hardly hear me if it's right up at my face. Any better? I personally think that all your mics are, all your TVs are broken. Now that should be quite echoey. Is that quite echo? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach it. I'm going to take it out. This is why the other bit softer is so much better. And then I'm just going to add my mic back in. So, put it back in again. Audio input capture. Is that still bad? Is it still echoey? It shouldn't be echoey. There's enough down there so it shouldn't echo. Here's the second half now anyway. Tell me if it's still echo. Hey. So straight away Man United are on the attack. I'm going to have to start listening to myself to see if there is a bad echo. Give me a second. You know what? I'll just keep talking and tell me if it's I can hear the echo now. Quack, quack. Bruno Fernandes. See, that's alright. Wolfsberger 0, Tottenham 3. I'm listening to it just now. It sounds alright. Great save there. Used to just need to get better TVs. That's what it is. One last thing I'm going to try. What do you mean? I don't understand how can you hardly hear me? I can hear myself on this. If I put this on, I can hear myself. If I put it on my own stream. Right, so I'm talking on one stream and I'm missing the football, by the way. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach it and I can hear it perfectly. This is why the other bit softer is so much better. And there's Isak running and he's offside. Just turn up the volume. That's what it is. Was the volume okay for the past couple of videos that you've watched? Do not understand why it's an issue just now. There's no excuse why it should be vibrating or echoing. Echo. Right, that should be it fixed now, completely fixed. You should be able to hear me well and no echo. Please say yes. Here's your Sociedad, Isaac there. Oh, last ditch tackle by Maguire. gets the ball. Isak was through there. That's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. A push here by Real Sociedad player. Aye, but all you had to do was just put it on the floor. Maybe I should have done that actually. Not there, because if I put it on the floor it should be better. That could be what it is. Because I've got it on the TV, maybe because it's vibrating. See, I'm not into acoustics. I'm just... There you go. Is that any better? People are going to be tuning into this and going, what is that guy doing? He can't even get his audio right. If he can't get his audio right, he's not going to get his life on track. For fuck's sake. How about now? Try it on a phone, because I can hear myself on my own phone. Or put it on a TV. See if you're using a potato down there in Manchester, that'll be why. Potato! Here's Januzaj. And he's just lost possession there. 50 minutes, it's been a quick 5 minutes because I've been playing about with that stupid mic. Just say quicker if it's working or not. Is that to find out absolutely no echo? Because if that's what you're saying, I'm going to put it back to where it was and there should be an echo again. And then if there is, then I know what the issue is. For somebody that works in IT, you should be a lot quicker at typing. So you should be like Speedy Gonzalez. Right. I'm just checking this again to make sure it's fine. Because it's the quickest way, because waiting on people getting back to you is taking ages. So it's fine where it is. Now, if I put it back to where it was, I should get an echo again. I do not understand why the connection... Right, so I'll put it back there, and the echo should be back. Am I correct, Captain Spock? Is the echo now back? Echo, echo, echo. It's a good thing that no one scored, by the way, because I would have missed a couple of goals there. But here we are. Januzaj! Terrible pass to Januzaj, but he gets it, and David Silva just can't quite connect to it, but right, it goes up to Rashford. That's a bad touch. David Silva knows that that was his opportunity to get him back into the game. Oh, I tell you. Now I'm going to put it there, because people are telling me that the echo is there, and people are telling me that the echo isn't there. It should be gone now. Just, if it's still there, get a hearing aid. It should be fine. But here's Tellez, he seems to have a slight injury, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not taking the advice of Graham. I just seen Luke Shaw there warming up. This could be the end of Telly's night, and it could be like Shaw coming on. There's Martial warming up, but I want to see Diallo warming up. Not that interested in Martial at the moment. No, remember, like, share, subscribe. Has everyone that is watching put in a like thus far? That includes you as well, Graham. Just because you were sitting here next week or the week after, you still got to like the videos. And as you say, you're a hardware guy, so you'll have the echo fixed next week. Don't know why it's echoing, mind you. Here's Rashford in the box. He's taking too many touches. And he passes to Baye, who thinks, "I'll shoot," and it went skyward. But Rashford took one touch too much. The first touch, second touch, third touch was plenty. He took a fourth touch, he took it too far, and he had no choice but to play the pass, and Baye just shot. And here's Real Sociedad on the counter attack. Great defending there by Wan-Bissaka. Silva, and the ball just goes there, just drops there to Greenwood, but it's a free kick to Real Sociedad. So 55 minutes in, what's the next substitution, do you think? That goes to the people in chat. Here's Isak. And David Silva slips there. Loses possession. There! You've got Danji. Oh! Oh! That's going to be offside. It's going to VAR, but Dan James had the ball and Bruno Fernandes just took it from him. I think Dan James took the touch so they could run onto it. I don't think it was a pass to Bruno. No, it wasn't. That's going to be offside. Right, you've got 10 minutes and you need to start making changes. Real Sociedad are here for the taking. It's taken quite a long time actually to say if this is a goal or not. It's definitely not. It's definitely offside. 1-0 away from home for Man United isn't a bad result considering with the injuries. But when you see the team that they've put out, I would like to see more goals, and that was given. That's 2-0. How? I need to see this. I need to see it again. I have no idea how that was a goal and not offside. I'm glad it's a goal, but it makes... But yeah, let's see. That was quick. Wait till we slow it down a bit. So who's on side? That's close. That is really close. Oh well, I'll take it. Definitely didn't expect that to be given, but I'll take it. This could almost be the tie over. And if the tie is over, it'll be the end of my echo. The other thing as well I was going to ask, that shocks me. Here comes Matic for McTominay. McTominay's not happy, he's coming off. Right, so we're 60 minutes in the first half, and we've got a lot of possession, and there was a real good cross there from Real Sociedad, and Matic comes in and kicks it out. Right, so we've had the best of chances in the second half, and we're doing really well attacking and defending, yet they bring on Matic just before the 60th minute. Strikes me as odd. There's Januzaj, I was going to end that. I would have liked to have seen another attacker come on, to be honest, leaving Fred and McTominay and then bringing Matic on later on in the game. Because I don't think that Matic really gives much to this team just now. I'm still in shock from the goal, and then that happened, and I'm just still in shock. I don't understand why you would do that. Because you're not going to rest McTominay for Saturday. You're going to rest other players first. Matic will sit deeper, but you've only got a 2-0 lead. You've got 30 minutes to go, so Real Sociedad could easily score 2 in 30 minutes. And there's Bruno Fernandes, and again Greenwood makes his run far too soon. Here's Wan-Bissaka, and it's Fred, and we see there Matic sitting quite deep. What do you think of the substitution, George or Graham, bringing on Matic for McTominay? Strikes me as odd. When you watch Ollie, sometimes he gets it just right, and he makes changes, and you think that's not going to work, and it turns out for the better. But tonight, I just don't see why that would have been the swap. You've got a couple of players for Real Sociedad now. David Silva's not having a great game, but he can still do a lot of damage. I would have thought you'd have wanted somebody like McTominay who can cover ground a lot quicker than Matic. Anyway, no point dwelling on that. At least my mic's no longer echoing, so that's a bonus. Next thing the camera's going to cut out, there's going to be a power cut. No, he wasn't injured because he came off and he wasn't happy. He got taken off. So there's definitely not an injury there. It's definitely tactical, and that's the worry. Januzaj, you've got Real Sociedad on the back foot, and you're just taking off a player to bring on another player that will make the team a lot slower. As I said earlier, that gap between McTominay, Fred and the front, that isn't going to be helped with Matic because he's sitting even further back. Here's your Sociedad. Great ball! Good defending there. Sorry, good save there by Dean Henderson. Straight away he's got the ball to Fred. Three Rashford! First touch! Go! Rashford! 3-0. I was just going to say there, Fred made the run and Matic was well behind. And that's my point that I'm trying to say. You needed that person that can keep up with the counter attack. And Matic didn't even have the ball and he was well behind. Good if they get into a position where they need to defend. But that was just, it was too easy for Man U to score. But we see there straight away that because of Matic coming on, Man United were considerably slower. Unfortunately, it went through Fred and not Matic. And that's important, by the way. That's an important point. What do you think, Graham? Tell you, if my camera goes to, I'm going to put it in the fucking bin. I'll put everything in the bin. I'll just bin it. Right, anyway, I need to change this. So Graham, when you come back, are you going to be software guy as well? Because this software is getting more and more difficult. Every single time I do it, it's getting more and more difficult. So, what do you think, people that are speaking in the comments, what do you think of this new feature? This, I would put a mouse over it, but you can't see it. This new graphic above the score. George, that isn't game over, that is tie over. Now bring on Diallo. I don't want to see Martial coming on. I want to see Diallo, or I want to see Shore Shift. I want to see one of those two players come on. I would be quite happy if they bring on Mata. I really like Mata. I don't see the point in bringing them on, but I wouldn't mind. But I want to see one of those two players come on. Maybe 75th minute, give them some game time. There's no point bringing on Martial, just let him play on Saturday. Not as a centre forward, but just play him on Saturday. Don't bring him on tonight. Bring on one of these two other players just to get some experience. And they're going to come into the tie. There is still a lot to play for, so Real Sociedad aren't going to not play. They're still going to attack till the final minute. But Diallo or Shore Shift may get some time on the ball and get to show us what they can actually do. And there we are. There's Greenwood through. There's Dan James. Dan James pass. Dan James. Go 4-0. No, offside. Offside. It's going to VAR. Should go check if it's offside. I think Greenwood was offside. But believe it or not, Greenwood put his head up, looked across the line and seen Dan James. I feel so bad for Dan James. There we go, they're bringing on Martial now. I thought the last one was offside and it wasn't, so you never know. I would like to see Dan James get a goal. And that's check over, and it's not given, I think. Yeah, it's not given. Or is it? Must be close. That is really close. Yep, so the goal doesn't stand. But Martial is on the sidelines and he's came on for Rashford. It's not a bad substitution. James is still getting his game time, which something that he really needs. And I feel that he'll come off later on for the likes of Diallo. Here's Martial on the ball. Bruno Fernandes. There's so much space for every Man United attacker when they're attacking Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad are still chasing this game and they're just leaving space at the back. And because Martial's came on and he's always trying to score as many goals and assists as Rashford, so he'll be coming on and trying to catch up to Rashford's goal tally. They've got similar game time. I think he's about 4 goals behind, so he'll definitely be trying to get a goal in this game. It's turned out to be quite a good game, even if there was an echo. So yeah, I tried to play with this the other day there, but when I've done it, people just jumped on my stream, so there you go, I've moved it. Tell me if that's enough. Because when I put it on the other day, people jumped on the stream and I had to quickly turn it off, just before I got like dislikes and stuff, so. Are you watching the game? Anybody that's talking in the chat? Again, you've got loads of space there, but Bruno Fernandes couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet in time. I won't be doing any streams till at least Saturday night. I think Saturday night will be my next stream. I've done too many this week. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Matic, back to Maguire. There's a great run there by Tellez if he gets his head up. He does, but he gets up a bit too late. A good run there by Fred. I do like Matic and I do like seeing him play. I just don't think he can play every single game. I just didn't see why they brought him on earlier. Strange. Here's Martial, Fred, and here's Bruno. So they're 3-0 up, and Bruno definitely won't want to go off. But I would be considering it just to bring him off. Here's Martial. He's looking for the 1-2 with Greenwood. Doesn't get it though. There's something else that I noticed in the last game. Maguire's up here, playing as like a left winger or inside left winger. Here's Greenwood in the box. He shoots and he puts it wide. So Maguire's so far up the park and Bailly is all the way back. I can understand why he's up the park, because there's so much space up there, and they may feel that Real Sociedad won't get an equaliser. But if I'm Ollie, I'm definitely not putting Maguire up that far, because he's just too slow coming back. If you've got Bailly up there, then it makes sense because he can run back. Maguire is good for corners and crosses, but I wouldn't have him up there too often. Anyway, here's Tellez with the cross. And that's going to be another corner. I was looking. That's the first thing I checked to see if Diallo was playing. I was looking forward to seeing him play, and I really do think that if Ollie doesn't play him tonight, he's missing an opportunity. And you've got to question why he's not playing tonight, because you need to see if he's ready to step in games like Newcastle. Here's Fernandes. There's Martial wide open, but Greenwood gets the ball taken off him. You just feel that there's another goal or two here for Manchester United. The Wolf Leeds game is tomorrow, isn't it? Am I? No. No. Definitely not. Every time I do a Leeds game, they're one of the most attacking teams in the Premier League and they don't give up. But I still get bored when I'm watching it. So, no. That's got 0-0 written all over it, or 1-1. Isak hasn't had much service tonight. Januzaj started off really good, but this second half he's dropped off. And as I say that, he's tries to play the 1-2 there. It's back to it was going back to Januzaj until he was able to intercept. So going down that wing in the first half, Tellez was all over the place, but this half he seems to have his positioning a lot better. Here's Matic, got the ball cleared. There's Greenwood. He sees Dan James. Great ball to Dan James. He comes, and the goalkeeper comes out. Well intercepted there. Dan James has had a real good game this game. He hasn't had too much on the ball, but anytime he's been called upon, he's been fantastic. Most of the plays been going through Rashford and Greenwood. Martial all the way back to his own defence. I've got an answer to that, and the answer is that is the simple truth about that. And I think Graham will also say the same. There is no way that I could do that game because, no. It's okay doing a Man United game, but to do that game you would be just shouting too much. Here's Bruno Fernandes and dispossessed. I suppose it would be quite an interesting watch for anybody watching it, but I would definitely lose my YouTube channel. No ifs, buts or ands. So like, share, subscribe to this channel. Maybe that's a free kick to Man U. So 30 minutes to go, they're 3-0 up, still no Diallo. Here's the question though. You've got Diallo who is going to be a regular for Man United. And you've got James who isn't. wouldn't it make more sense to take James off just now and bring on Diallo? Or is that just too much common sense? Here's Martial. Tries to play 1-2 with Bale, Bailly and went nowhere. That would be my thinking though. I'd be thinking, who am I going to play more this season? And that's who I would bring on. And here's Real Sociedad bringing on their 2 last substitutions. Bringing off Januzaj for Porto. And here's and I'm bringing off Isak. He had a good first 20-30 minutes. And then when the Real Sociedad couldn't keep up the tempo that they had shown, and then Man United just basically just took control of the game. They'll be quite glad though that that's happened, because it means that they've got 2 or 3 weeks playing in the Premier League. They can have players rested, and then when they play this game on the return leg at Old Trafford, it could be 3, 4, 5-0 up. Here's Bruno Fernandes. There's Dan James running. Still running. Is he going to get it? He is. First touch. Shoots. And a great save. But what a run there by Dan James. He was like Usain Bolt there. Check his 100 metre sprint record there. Definitely say he was quicker than Usain Bolt. He's like the kid that you get running for the ice cream man just before it's about to go. That was him. He's Fred to Bruno Fernandes. Real Sociedad seem to be keeping their defenders back just to try to defend against any further goals. I wonder if they've got it in their mindset that they only want to be beaten by 3 goals and then go to Old Trafford and try and snatch a draw or a victory there and take the game to extra time if required. So we're now on the 82nd minute and still no Diallo. I'm really disappointed in Ollie not bringing him on. What he'll say is he was only there in case we did need him. True, but I would like to have seen him on though. There's Wan-Bissaka, he's beat 1, beat 2. Dan James looking for the 1-2. Bruno Fernandes passes it back. Wan-Bissaka's still going. There's Martial. Dan James. Martial. Greenwood. Shoot. And he puts it wide. James was just wanting that ball back so he could take a shot, but when he did have it, there was a defender in the way, and Martial, rather than passing it back to Dan James, passed to Greenwood. Dan James does not look like a happy boy, and here we see him, Diallo, 82nd minute, and Mata, and off comes Bruno Fernandes, who is not looking happy, not one bit. And off comes Greenwood. So they've decided to keep on James. Now, if anybody's watching or listening, that to me says that Ollie has Dan James in his plans going forward. He may be an impact sub, but it says to me that he is going to get more game time. I think he's only started 2 games this season, but from what I'm seeing tonight, he could have taken him off earlier. Now he is having a good game, but he's kept him on. So I think he's looking at what options they have on the right hand side. They're looking at James, and he may be one of those options. And here's Real Sociedad. And they were unlucky, but they got, as I said in the first half, they got some joy down that left side of Manchester United. Telles was nowhere to be seen. Here's Matic going on a run, or as they call it, a walk. There's lost possession. There's no way Matic now is getting back in anywhere near back to his position. Yeah, still bringing them on in the last 10 minutes makes sense, but to bring him on for McTominay so early, just bizarre. See, I'm seeing quite a lot of movement there from Diallo. He's looking quite bright, quite good defensive movement. I think it was Diallo that was saying that he does create a lot of space for himself. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get anywhere in the final third, and we'll see how good he could be. But here's Dan James just running at the Real Sociedad defender like a steam train. Just a shot there by Real Sociedad and it's went wide. I think that's a referee calling for a substitution. Man United are calling for a handball before the shot. And here comes the substitution coming on. So it's Batista, number 30 in the WWE Royal Rumble. I don't think Ollie's got much sense either, to be honest. I don't know. There's games that he does and he's absolutely fantastic, and there's other games you just look and go, what are you doing? What is your train of thought? Why does that make sense to you at all? But there we are, Sunday. But it's Sunday actually. Man United play at 6:30. I'll do that game, but I'll do a game before that. I'll need to look though. I need to look at the bigger games and see which games I can actually do. Because doing these small games, I'm not getting as much people watching, which is rubbish. But you've got to start somewhere. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that. Tell me if you had a nice Pancake Tuesday. I had a nice Pancake Tuesday. I had pancakes and I had honey on it. Not syrup, but honey. Honey. So here we are, we're in the final 3 minutes. The man of the match for me. Now I can ask Graham who the man of the match is, because he'll know as much as me. Even though he's not watched the game. It's going to be, for me it's going to be between Dan James and Fernandes, but I'm going to go for Fernandes. I'm a little bit worried that they'll go for a goal scorer. There's Dan James there, went to go on a run and he gets pulled down. And he absolutely flies. The guy's an absolute bullet train. You just think though, how quickly did this guy come out the womb when he was born? Must have been somebody just standing there, like 5 metres back, waiting for him to just come out and catch him, because he is lightning quick. It's all true, by the way. It's all true. Is the echo still there? Here's Matic. Tries to play a ball through there to Diallo, but it goes straight to the goalkeeper. But great movement there by Diallo. He was able to stay on the shoulder and only make his run when he seen the ball had been released. So like, share, comment, subscribe, upvote, downvote, dance, all that. Here we are, it's Dan James again. He's all he wants is an assist or a goal, but there's Martial! And he shoots! And he scores! What a goal! Absolutely no chance. It looked like there was no chance. But he's put in a statement there to Ollie, saying, choose me, pick me. I'm still here. I can still make a difference. If you see that goal again, the goalkeeper will be so disappointed that he got beat. The pass should have went to Martial, to be honest. And he knew he was there, but he decides to shoot. If it doesn't go in, you had Diallo on the back post there, ready to pop it in, and I'm going to say Diallo had beaten the two real Sociedad defenders to the back post. So he would have got the goal if it hadn't been in by Dan James. So it's fantastic play by those two. So 5 minutes of stoppage time. Dan James has definitely given Ollie something to think about for Sunday. I kept saying Saturday, but it's Sunday. I think with all this COVID, you don't know what day of the week it is. It just keeps changing. You think it's one day and it's not. Right. So Dan James has absolutely bust a gut. So I'm going to go for Dan James for man of the match. It was between him and Bruno Fernandes. But he's absolutely bust a gut tonight, trying to prove to Ollie that he should still be in this team. And it doesn't matter if he gets an assist or a goal. He wasn't. Don't think he was too bothered as long as he had a good game. And when he seen the opportunity to shoot and to hopefully score, he took it. And it went in. But that's 4-0. And I would say that's tie over. That gives Ollie some. Here's Diallo, on the ball, he's making a run to Martial, he's off again, so is Dan James. Diallo's going back, takes a touch, one. Oh, he's tried to be a little bit too fancy and lost it in the box there. But here's Fred, he's picked it back up. That's going to be a throw in to Man U. No, it was definitely a throw in to Man U. But anyway, he's because of the way that Man United's played, they've gave Ollie something to think about for the next Europa Cup game. Is this where Dan James guarantees his place? Is this where Diallo could start? I would expect Dan James to at least start if he doesn't get a start at Newcastle on Sunday. There's a few other players that could perhaps start. There's a good ball there over the head of Maguire. Well defended for a throw in. So the next game, when they play back at Old Trafford, there will be a lot of the same players, I think, in this team. The likes of like players that don't play every week. So players like Telles, players Diallo, Dan James. I would like to think that he could drop Bruno Fernandes. And here's Mata, got it in the box. First time. Martial, Dan James, and he just can't keep it under control. So yeah, that's another player as well that could play instead of Fernandes, Juan Mata. I would much rather put out that sort of squad where it's Matic, Mata, Diallo, those type of fringe players and players that are coming up. And if you need the likes of Rashford, Martial, Fernandes, then bring them on off the bench, but don't start them. Will Ollie do that? I don't know. Personally, that's what I would do. When I saw the injuries to this team, I thought, is this going to be an omen that Man United are going to lose this tie? But they've come into this game, bar the first 10-15 minutes, they've pretty much controlled the game. Here's Martial, Mata! Oh, Mata almost scores! You just couldn't write this. And that's game over. So Ollie is going to be a happy man tonight when he flies back from Italy to play Newcastle on Sunday at 6:30, which I do think I'll be doing that game. I'm going to look at the schedule and see what games I fancy doing. If there's any suggestions, then I'll certainly do them. But I'm thinking about it'll just be the more popular games that I'll be doing, apart from the Man U game, of course. Looking now to Sunday, does this give Dan James a start in the game? There's definitely a lot for Ollie to think about. I don't see Diallo getting a start on Sunday, but I definitely see Dan James having the opportunity. But then what do they do? Do they play Dan James instead of Greenwood? That's a dilemma that you've got to look at. For me, I would rather play Dan James at the beginning, and the reason is you've got Cavani injured at the moment, and you don't want to injure or risk another striker just now. There's no point in playing Rashford, Martial, Greenwood as your front three and risk Greenwood getting injured when you could play Dan James. And what that would do is you can bring Greenwood on second half or in the game after, but that then allows you've got a plan B, you've got a contingency plan to play the front three, and somebody gets injured like Cavani has and Paul Pogba. You're just going to deplete your squad, and then you have to then rely on Dan James, and it's better playing Dan James when you've got the opportunity to take him off to play somebody else. But that's just my thoughts. Thank you for everyone who's commented and still here at the end of the stream. But like, share, comment. The Tottenham game looks as though that was quite a good game, so I might jump on the highlights of that and watch that. Until next time, and hopefully my mic is better, so I'll be checking that out straight